Hello and welcome to California Bountiful. I'm your host, Aubrey Aquino. Here in Southern California, Mellano and Company has operated for more than 100 years. They grow locally and maintain deep community ties that helps their flower business thrive.
We're sitting in the San Luis Rey area of Oceanside. It's in North San Diego County. And we've been here farming this land since about 1968. My family moved the farming operations out of the LA basin in 1968 and relocated it here to Oceanside at that time. My uncles primarily have been farming this land ever since. Mellano and Company, we're actually a third generation farming and distribution company that raises and grows and sells cut flowers, as well as bringing cut flowers in from other farmers in California and around the world. So we originally started as a wholesale distributor in downtown LA, and eventually my grandfather, who started the business, got into farming in that area, and we just kind of went from there. So we've been farming and distributing cut flowers for now 100 years.
A century and counting, with a plan to keep blooming into the future.
Our ability to stay in business for 100 years has really revolved around our capacity to change. If you look at the spectrum of flowers that my grandfather started with and that my dad and my uncles continued on with and then added to in the 60s and 70s and 80s, and then you look at what we have today and it's completely different.
In an ever-changing landscape for fresh-cut flower growers, they're still going strong in a shrinking field of flower farmers across the U.S.
We are known for really perennial foliages and perennial filler flowers. So we grow a lot of things that people don't really know or think about, right? We grow, I tend to refer to it as the supporting cast, the things in a bouquet or an arrangement that really accentuate the star and make it shine and make it do what it needs to do. In any industry, and especially in agriculture, it evolves a lot. And so trying to make sure you stay ahead of that evolution, know as best you can where things are headed, is what allows you to thrive and to continue. I think I credit the popularity of the ranunculus to that venue and the advent of social media and how that really made people aware of something and say, oh, I want to see that.
A popular springtime site in San Diego County are the flower fields in Carlsbad, where Mellano curates all the pretty things.
What I'm particularly proud about at the flower fields is just our ability to really engage the public and teach the public about agriculture, to show them what it is we do and why we do it. And you know, there is a lot of people that do show up there that are just there to look at the striking beauty of all the colors that come forth. But there is a group of people that are very curious about what we do, how we do it, and why we do it. And so I think one of the most rewarding things for me is the ability and opportunity to engage that many people and talk about agriculture and talk about what farmers do.
And they credit their community mindset for keeping things green.
Our family actually extends beyond the blood, okay? It's all the people that have helped Mellano and Company and achieve what it's achieved over our 100-year history. It doesn't matter what role you have in the company, they're all critically important roles, right? So all the way from the people that are harvesting the flowers and planting them and tending the fields, all the way up to the people that are selling them and marketing them and getting them through the channel. It's about them, really, honestly. You know, the family members, those of us that have been blessed to be part of this company and part of the family and help be the leaders of what we do. We only did what we did and could do what we could do because of the people that we work with. And it's a family of family. So we're really proud of that. You know, there's not too many things that just put a smile on your face when you see them, right? So you just imagine how many times somebody shows up with a bouquet of flowers to give to their wife, their mother, their girlfriend. And what does that do to their attitude? What does that do to their expression? It's almost an immediate smile when they see flowers. When you walk into a party or an event, the drastic difference between an event that doesn't have flowers and decorations in there versus one that does. It's a night and day difference. And so I think that you know, that part of nature that people connect to, seeing the artistry and the beauty of that being expressed in that way, just is what makes it timeless. to be able to carry the legacy on that our grandfather started and our fathers and uncles continued on with, and that we were able to be part of is just a tremendously rewarding opportunity.
I'm registered dietitian Ashley Hawk, and while you might know that I love food, I doubt you know that summer is my favorite season. It's not just because of the longer days and the warmer weather, it's all about the food for me. I love the nostalgic dishes that we get to create this time of year, and today I want to show you how to boost not just the flavor, but also the benefits into classic sunny day dishes. Up first, many of us know that potato salad is a must-have at any barbecue or picnic, but we typically make potato salad with white potatoes. Today, I want to encourage you to try either using half the amount of regular potatoes and half the amount of sweet potatoes, or just making it entirely with sweet potatoes. One medium sweet potato has over 400% of your daily recommended value of vitamin A. Vitamin A is great for our skin, our eyes, and our hair. On top of that, it's also good for our immune systems. Sweet potatoes also boil a little bit quicker than classic white potatoes, so this might also be a good trick if you're in a time pinch. What you're going to do is boil them down. Then, instead of using mayonnaise, you're going to add in 1 cup of Greek yogurt. This is going to help cut back on some of the fat and the cholesterol from the mayonnaise, and you're not even going to notice that it's missing when you add in some of the mustard and all of these delicious seasonings. From there, I also combine 1 cup of celery to give it that added crunch that I love. My second swap comes down to a dish that I just can't live without when it comes to having chips. We're talking about queso. But did you know that it's actually really easy to make your own queso? And you can do it with just 3 ingredients. Today, we're taking 2 ounces of cream cheese. We're gonna soften this in the microwave. Then we're gonna add in 1 cup of salsa, and then we're gonna add in a full cup of shredded cheddar cheese. Once you've melted the cream cheese, you're gonna stir in the salsa and the shredded cheese. From there, it's gonna give you this really creamy, thick texture, which is perfect for dipping with vegetables or with chips. If you wanna find more tips and tricks, you can go to ashleyhawkrd.com or follow along the fun at ashleyhawkrd.
Coming up, from vines to wine, tech innovation is taking the wheel. But first, a full menu of Amore. We go inside this West Hollywood hotspot for a taste.
California Bountiful is brought to you by the California Farm Bureau.
Did you know Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company? They're one of America's largest financial services companies, too. Just like I'm so much more than quarterback Peyton Manning. I'm also Peyton Manning.
It's lovely, Peyton.
Did you say Peyton or Peyton?
Peyton.
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 Great work.
Thank you. For your insurance and financial needs, Peyton, Nationwide is on your side.
Now, more ways to watch California Bountiful for free. Just find and download our all-new video app on Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, or Amazon Fire. Then start streaming Bountiful content whenever you want. It's that easy.
When you choose California Grown, you're a part of something good. Sound too good to be true? Not at all. It sounds responsible. We lead the nation in sustainable measures, plus some of the highest worker pay and protections. It sounds diverse, with 400 plus specialty crops produced statewide. And it sounds fresh because it was grown right here. Learn more at californiagrown.org.
Hey everybody, I'm at a Michelin-recommended French brasserie in West Hollywood. The menu here offers classic French dining with more approachable options and many California-grown ingredients.
Hello, I am Alexandre Sins. You're today in Amour Rio. That is a French restaurant based in Los Angeles, West Hollywood. The idea was to bring some typical French food, like people that can eat during traveling in France, like onion soup, like escargots, the typical French meats also with the beef fillets, and also the part of desserts with crème brûlée, very famous in France. The ambiance of Amour is very romantic. The night is coming, the light came out, and we have a very great garden vibe, like you can find exactly in France when you're on the terrace or when you're in the patio of the restaurant. And here, when you come in Amour, you can find it also. And today we'll make a tartine, smoked salmon tartine with a guacamole that is typically from France, but with a Californian ingredients. I will start to make the guacamole and use the avocado. Donc weaken in half, we remove the seed, very simple. And for this recipe we're gonna use 2. We're gonna remove the skin. Inside the guacamole, we'll do some, we're gonna seasoning with the shallots, with the tomato, with the lemon. For the shallots, we'll chop. We're gonna use 2 shallots. For the tomato, we're gonna cut in half and in quarter. We'll remove the seed. We're gonna cut in a dice. The lemon for seasoning, and like this the avocado do not become also brown. Some salt, some pepper, and we're gonna crush everything with a fork or with a whisk, depending of what you want. When everything is crushed properly, we're gonna add cilantro for the guacamole, but today we're gonna use some spring onions to keep a Frenchy version, and like we use actually today inside the restaurant. And to give some peps, we're gonna put some Tabasco, little bit. And what I do also is I add some avocado oil. I like to use a little bit. I'm not saying that avocado is not enough strong, but to have a very great flavors of avocado. And the avocado guacamole is ready. After this, we gonna make some soft boiled eggs. For the dressings, donc I will do honey dressing. Some champagne vinegar. Champagne vinegar like this, we have French nuts. Some mustard, Dijon. And we're gonna put salt and pepper right now because we need to dilute the salt before inside the liquid like the vinegar to have a great dissolution of the salt, and after we can put the oil. And olive oil. For the quantity, it's 1 spoon of vinegar for 3 spoons of olive oil. Perfect. And we have the dressing ready. We're gonna use a bread that we have toasted. Donc, can be done inside a toast bread or oven as you want. Just a little bit with the olive oil, the guacamole on top. We're gonna do a small wall in the middle. Like this, we can put the eggs. We're gonna bring the smoked salmon. Some salt and pepper on the eggs. A fillet of olive oil. For the salad, the dressing. I'm gonna take some fresh herbs. Donc là, I am using micro arugula that you can find a little bit everywhere in all grocery store, or you can have a micro basil or something else. Et voilà, you have the tartine of guacamole with the smoked salmon and soft-boiled eggs, say œuf mollet, ready to serve for the lunch or for the brunch. And bon appétit!
Now time for a bountiful beverage.
My name is Kilian, we're at Amor in West Hollywood, and today we're gonna make a Bisney fat wash olive oil. So to start, we're gonna add some ice in the shaker, use some lemon, so we do 3/4 of lemon. We're gonna use some honey syrup made with local honey, 1/2 ounce. Then we're gonna use 2 ounces of grape gin infused with olive oil. A little bit of saline to pop up. Here we go. Some orange blossom water, 3 dashes, and then we're gonna shake it. And double strain. Et voilà. And this is the fat wash olive oil gin Bisney.
Still to come, AI takes the wheel. Remote operation is driving grape growing in Napa. And up next, a Mendocino Coast sanctuary where food, farming, and natural beauty converge.
You know, Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies, too. Just like I'm so much more than quarterback Peyton Manning. I'm also debating Manning. And honestly, this might be my best sport.
I would argue that it's not.
I think it might be.
No, it's not.
Is to.
Is not.
Is to.
Is not.
Is to times infinity, no takebacks.
You can't do no takebacks.
That's debatable. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
The California Farm Bureau has protected the diverse agricultural interests in the Golden State for over a century. As part of the California Farm Bureau, you'll add your voice to the combined strength of over 34,000 farmers, ranchers, and families through our state. That means more connections, more influence, and more opportunity to fight for the issues that impact your life. With your support behind us, California Farm Bureau's robust government affairs, federal policy and farm pact, and legal teams work tirelessly to advocate at all levels of government, protecting and promoting our shared way of life. Together, California Farm Bureau and our members are standing up for farmers, ranchers, and families throughout the Golden State every day, working to cultivate a bountiful future for all Californians.
California Grown Spotlight.
I think early on as a cook, what really inspired me and drew me to the art of cooking, if you will, or the craft, was ingredients and products, and that still holds really true today. If you have something that's really expensive or luxury driven, it's far less inspiring to me than a really perfect cabbage or turnip or something that's just plucked out of the ground. And I think that from a young age that was really clear. When you talk about produce and products in the United States, California definitely is the leader in that. I've cooked in cities all over the world and there's not the connection. And when you're here in Mendocino, California, you're surrounded by agriculture and products and foraging. You know the person that caught your fish, you know who foraged your mushrooms if it wasn't yourself, and obviously you know Amy who's farming your food for you.
California is such a special location because we have so many different regions, and especially here on the coast. You go 10 miles inland and it's a drastically different climate, and it's about 10 to 20 degrees warmer on either end of that spectrum. So we kind of fall into this really sweet spot in the middle of being sort of in close proximity to the ocean, which really informs our weather. And we get a lot of fun things like fog that roll in, and as Chef Matt says, pre-seasons our vegetables. The vision between Chef Matt and myself is obviously making sure that they're provided for year-round, and to really showcase the Mendocino coast, what grows here, what grows really well here, and hopefully providing guests with new things that they maybe haven't tried before, like the kohlrabi, As a farmer, that's something that I'm so used to seeing and growing, and it's still sort of surprising if I meet or hear somebody who's never seen a kohlrabi before, and that's cool. That's great to be able to show them something new that they've never had, and hopefully give them a really positive experience and a connection to what we do here.
For me, hyperlocal has just kind of been tagged on to Harbor House since day one, because I think that you can speak to being local, but we're really trying to show this area today and what that looks like. Having your own farm kind of creates a different way of creativity and menu selection, where I think in most restaurants they come up with an idea and they go find the product. We do it the opposite way, where the product is there and then we'll taste it and then come up with a dish. So I think that we've really actually let the farm decide what we cook and when. Having Amy's expertise and understanding of not just farming, but now this area after it's been 4 years, our products have only gotten better.
Just ahead, we talk to a leader of the pack for sustainable innovation. We'll be right back after this break.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than Peyton Manning, I'm also Calculating Manning. Yep, math checks out.
Join me, Gary Sack, on the Voice of California Agriculture podcast, an insightful look into what's happening in the world of agriculture, from how crops and farmers are faring to legislative and regulatory issues, plus other farm and food news. It's our time to talk about all of it. What are the implications of foreign investment in the U.S. farmland? Find us today at Apple Podcast, Spotify, and California Farm Bureau's website, the Voice of California Agriculture podcast, where California agriculture speaks.
After 15 years of smoking, Eva Marie quit. There's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Wine, technology, and innovation are a few terms that are synonymous with Northern California. And here in the Napa Valley, pairing those things together is helping to lead farming operations into the future.
Well, so we're in the heart of Napa Valley in the Oakville AVA at what we call the Gamble Ranch. So it's the center of operations for Treasury Wine Estates near our vineyard shop and surrounded by just beautiful vineyards as far as the eye can see. Treasury is one of the largest luxury winemakers in the world. So we have an amazing set of properties here in Napa, but also down in the Central Coast through Monterey County and San Luis Obispo County.
Treasury Wine Estates is a global leader in the wine space, who are also set on advancing the industry when it comes to sustainability.
Technology has always been a central part of our philosophy about farming. Knowing more about how you grow grapes and how that flavor impacts the wines, all the way through to how we can bottle efficiently and get that kind of sense of the properties that we have, that we're lucky enough to work with, through to the consumer. And so I think from day one, we were there getting advanced weather stations or soil monitoring equipment or satellite imagery to help us with our farming. And this is just a natural extension of that.
For at least the past decade, they've been pursuing ambitious goals with autonomy, AI, and renewable energy.
We have a whole host of different platforms we're working with, and what I love about that is the way that helps us integrate with our sustainability goals and push further on everything from how we can be more efficient with the fuel we use, how we can have a lighter footprint on the ground when we're driving up and down those vineyard roads with lighter equipment. to how we can start using some of those smarts on those platforms like cameras and sensors to do a better job of the job we were already doing, but we can do it faster and with a lighter footprint. We want to make sure that we're at the leading edge of adopting some of these technologies because it gives us the longest term to learn and to adapt and to figure out what the future is going to look like.
These are the sensing units that will not only keep everything guidance in terms of in-row, but it also keeps people safe. My day-to-day is focusing on the equipment, making sure that it's ready to go, but also another hat that I wear is what does farming of the future look like at Treasury Wine Estates?
Well, just by looking at some of their heavy equipment, it's easy to see these tractors mean business.
We know that if we don't get ahead of the curve, we're going to be left behind. And so we want to make sure that we're focusing again on those three goals: operator safety, our sustainability targets, and then what does farming of the future look like? And with that, we can try these different platforms. As the cream rises to the top, then we can really fine tune our assortment of equipment to accomplish those goals. We have behind us the Robotics Plus sprayer. Right now it's a single-use platform, but the roadmap shows that it will be a multi-use platform, focusing on spraying now, but we'll be able to do other tasks in the future with that, whether it's irrigation, weather management, crop and harvest management as well.
And let's not ignore the fact that these vehicles can be remotely operated.
Nobody is behind the wheel. That said, though, it is remote operated, so we always have an operator somewhere off, out of harm's way, fully in control of the machine using a computer or an iPad to control the machines and monitor them throughout the process. Automation is only going to help our workforce and our labor team. It allows us to think of, again, what does operator of the future look like? But we can upskill our existing workforce, and it allows us to do more work in less time. So there is always something to be done on the vineyard at any given point. So that said, we can keep people from doing the mundane, monotonous tasks, focus on letting the machines do that, while those individuals can do more specific tasks that are one-off jobs.
Let's be honest, innovation like this in California just makes sense.
You just have to look around to see where we get to play with this stuff. But at the same time, there's a responsibility. You know, we have a pretty big footprint at Treasury because we have all these incredible brands that people know and they love. But with that comes a huge amount of responsibility to make sure that we can pass this on to the next generation so that you can know when you're buying that bottle of Beaulieu Vineyards Cabernet from Napa Valley that the utmost thought and attention to detail went into it, but also that we didn't ruin the environment for the next generation to come afterwards. So we're very conscious about our water use, our energy use, our recycling drives, our biodiversity in our vineyards. We're also in an amazing time to be alive with the cheapness of sensors and the efficiency of batteries and everything coming together all in one time. So we need to do all the things that we traditionally have done, but more efficiently. We need to do it more safely, and we need to do it in a way that respects the land and allows us to keep doing it into the future.
And that is going to do it for this edition of the show. I'm your host, Aubrey Aquino. Thanks for watching, and remember, you can always find us online at CaliforniaBountiful.com. Take care and have a great week.